getting started there. So first of all, I just want to tell you a little bit about Grace House and who we are and what we do as a charity. So Grace House, we offer short breaks for disabled children from across the Northeast. This is a bit of a holiday or a home away from home experience for the children, where they can build friendship groups and they can become more independent. But it also gives the families some much needed respite as well, which is essential if you're caring for a disabled child. When the children are with us, they spend time doing all sorts of activities, from spending time in our amazing gardens, so growing vegetables, doing some weeding, working in the gardens, and in a pre-COVID world, we would go out on trips. So we'd go to the cinema, the soft play, butterfly world, different places like that. And then we'd have cookery sessions, art therapy, messy play, lots of things going on for the children here at Grace House. We also support the family with counselling sessions. So that's for parents, but it's also for the disabled child and for the siblings as well. We've seen a lot of, or we've heard a lot from our families about how the siblings have been sort of left out quite a lot, especially during lockdown. So it's essential for our siblings to get some support as well and keep the whole family together. During lockdown, we've turned to Zoom to support our families. So we've been running loads of sessions, and those include Zumba, yoga, magic shows and cooking sessions for the whole family, as well as mindfulness, journaling for well-being and managing stress, which is amazing. And this has all been based on feedback that we've had from parents about what they're struggling with, and that's how we've tailored the sessions. Because we're very much a face-to-face charity, it was important for us to stay engaged and connected with our families, but also with our supporters. Same way as it is for you to stay engaged with your clients or your customers, or even your followers on social media. And I think that's why we wanted to do this session today, so that we can give you some hints and tips to point you in the right direction. So on that note, I'm just going to pass over to Nicola. So Nicola, you can take it away.
Brilliant, thank you very much, Laura. Hi everyone. So I think quite a few of you I know. For those that don't, obviously I'm Nicola from Riverside Marketing Solutions. A little bit just briefly about me. I've worked in sales and marketing and business development for about 25 years, just showing my age there. So yeah, it's about 25 years, and I set up my business in April this year, after unfortunately losing my job in March due to the COVID situation. I live in Washington and obviously quite close to Grace House. And really passionate about helping out in the local community. I used to actually work for a social enterprise and help out quite a lot with regards to the local education sector and doing career talks and mock interviews and things like that. And it is really great thing to do, not just for obviously the benefits to your local community, but just for yourself as well, really, which is why obviously I like helping out, and especially with Grace House. I know Laura through just generally networking for a few years now, and I was, when I've got the bottom slide there, I was meant to be doing a few runs this year for Grace House, so I was meant to be doing a marathon, a couple of half marathons, and unfortunately all those got cancelled, which is why I've been trying to help out in other ways that obviously we can't do at the moment with regards to, you know, fundraising for runs and things like that. So I'm really just going to go through, if anyone wants to write any notes, that's fine, or ask any questions. I'm just going to really go through a few marketing pointers about how to market your business during this time. Obviously, I know we're going back to some sort of normal at the moment, but obviously you've still got to change your marketing a little bit. And then the end of the session will just be a few little pointers about LinkedIn and how you can optimize your profile to get the most out of LinkedIn as well. So that's a bit about me. So initially, a lot of people had said, should you still be marketing and selling through this COVID situation? The short answer is yes. Obviously, a lot of businesses are still buying. Your message may have changed, and it's possibly you need to show more empathy in your messages and not just, selling completely, not really a hard sell. Not that it should ever be that, but certainly not now. Think really importantly before you go to send an email or a post out on social or anything that it might be, and make sure that, no one's going to get offended by it, or, you're not really hard selling. But there are still businesses out there who are buying. And it's important to stay visible. So even if you can't particularly sell your products at this point, stay in touch with the customers that you have. I mean, I know Laura said there that, they're still keeping in touch with a lot of their corporate sponsors and whatnot, and they might not be able to give money at this point or help out, but you're still keeping that message going, keeping your visibility going. And if you stop contacting people, your customers or potential customers, they will forget that you're there. A lot of your competitors may not be doing this. So make sure that you're getting, that advantage over them by staying in touch. I do quite a lot of sales work for businesses and a lot of cold calling, and I know people cringe about it, but to be honest, over the course of the COVID period, I've done quite a lot of it. And it's surprising actually how receptive people are being, and a little bit more polite and kind, to be fair. So I don't know whether it's just because people have got more time, they're possibly working from home, so they haven't got a lot of distractions in the office. And it's just knowing the right words to say, not, always just if people aren't interested, right, no, that's fair enough, that's fine. And we've actually got quite good results from it over the last couple of months in doing it the right way, and most people will know if they work in sales or business development or any sort of marketing that a lot of time it will take people weeks, if not months, to make a decision about a purchase, especially if it's a large amount. So by keeping in contact now, even through this time, you've got that first contact leading through in the next few months, when hopefully things get back to normal or some sort of normal. You've already maintained that connection with your customers or potential customers. So one thing to look at is your buyer personas as well. So if you don't have them, create 2 or 3 buyer personas. I've got some hints on the next slide, actually, I think it is, with regards to how to do that. But if you do have them currently, make sure that they're up to date, because a lot of the pain points that on your buyer personas 6 months or a year ago might have totally changed. That a lot of issues that were affecting businesses 6 to 12 months ago are now completely different. So make sure that your buyer personas are completely up to date, and that the content that you're putting out there reflects what their problems are at the moment. A good way to do it as well, and lots of people don't do it, but list down all the benefits, what you are solving for, and the problems that you are solving for people. So think about, are you solving people's time issues? Is it, are you bringing cost savings to the business? Think about, what your things you are selling is going to solve. So for me, I market and target small businesses and sole traders. So a lot of the time, sole traders don't have time to spend on social media. They don't really know a lot about it. They don't know how to get content out there. So my message to them would be, you concentrate on running your business while you let somebody else save you time by able to, manage social media or making phone calls for you, whatever it might be. So, but list down the benefits, and don't just think about what you are actually selling or the service that you're providing. People aren't really interested. It's the benefits that you're going to bring to them that they're really interested in. And also give away free things on marketing in general. So that might be on social media, and that's obviously not trade secrets and not really, what you could be selling, but little hints, tips. So for me, I would put things out there about LinkedIn and about social media. And I mean, a lot of them you can just get online, but obviously a lot of people don't have time to do it. So if you give away things like this, little bits, people become engaged, it's relevant to them. And I know I'd mentioned about the cow and the chicken, I think, as well. So I've got a blog on my website, and I was told this actually by a trainer quite a few years ago, that think about your business and you run a farm. So you've got chickens and you've got cows, and the chickens are quite cheap, but the cows are really expensive to sell, and people have to make more of a harder decision. So try and give away, so you've got a potential client that comes to you, try and give away a few chickens, which are relatively low cost to yourself. And then that buyer thinks, oh, that was really good. You know, Nicola's obviously a really nice person. She runs this farm, but she's just given me a chicken. And then this person, you've got them, so they then come back and they buy a couple of cows off you, and they'll throw in a goat as well or something like that. So I know it's a strange analogy, but it really works for me. So give away a couple of chickens, and then hopefully then people will come back and buy a couple of cows off you as well. So it's loosely related, but you know what I mean. We're going back to the buyer personas. There's a few things on there, really bullet points, what you should be looking at. So you can tell your story to that person. So if you're writing social media content or whatever it might be on social, or any email campaigns or anything like that, once you've got your buyer persona created, write that content as though you are writing to that person. So you can give the person a name, their age, what are the problems that they have, who do they get their information from, is it an influencer, is it, you know, networks, is it their, you know, peers, who are they getting information from, and write your content and target it to that person and solve that problem for them, what their problem might be, and focus on that problem, and not what you're selling, but how you're going to solve that person's problem. And it's actually a really good idea. I've done this with a couple of my clients now, and it's a good idea because it clears your mind a little bit, and then it's not as much of a scattergun approach when you're writing content, and think that, you know, you're writing it to Tim the plumber or Sally the electrician or whoever it might be for me. So you're writing it to them people, and it gets much more targeted. So it's not just generic, you know, I'm Nicola and I do this, and this. It's not going to really work because you're not just targeting one person. So obviously there's a few bullet points there as well. If afterwards I've got like a little matrix, I'd be quite happy to send that over to people as well, just so you can start to sort of do your buyer personas, but it is a really good idea to do as well. Yes, the content sandwich and Lego figures. So this is a little bit with regards to content again as well. And again, don't sell on every post of what you do on marketing, or even on email campaigns, or, you know, even when you're talking, don't sell. It's just not going to work. You know, make the content engaging, but mix it with a bit of you as well. Ultimately, people buy from people. And obviously, you know, I've got quite a large network, but that's been built over many years. And, you know, just putting a couple of posts out there every week and trying to sell is not going to work. People get annoyed by it. You're not really benefiting them in any way. You're just trying to sell or whatever. So how to do with the content sandwich sort of thing is, so just say, for argument's sake, you do 3 posts a week on LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter or whatever it might be. So make sure that you're creating that targeted content, give away a couple of things. So you do that on a Monday and you get really good engagement with it. You get a lot of comments, tag a couple of people into the post, utilize awareness days with relation to your sector or your industry. So use that on a Monday. Use another one on the Friday, what you know is going to get good engagement as well. And then in the middle on the Wednesday, you've got good engagement. Try on the Wednesday, for argument's sake, putting a more of a salesy post out there. So not, hi, I'm Nicola, do you want social media marketing? Not that, but a kind of rewording it where you're slipping in a little bit of a salesy pitch. It's sandwiched by 2 good engagement posts. And then that in itself will get that middle post more engagement, and especially on LinkedIn. LinkedIn loves it when you get high engagement, you get a lot of comments, and mixing it in with your high engagement posts will make sure that your salesy post will also get good engagement as well, and it'll be put in front of more people on LinkedIn. And with regards to the Lego post, obviously I spend hours thinking of content for people, researching and this, that and the other. And we've all been there where then somebody puts an image of an X-Wing fighter on LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever, and it gets about 500 comments, it gets 20,000 likes, and you just think, oh my God, I've sat for hours and I've got like 10 likes or something like that. So it is really annoying sometimes. But that's the good thing about just putting things in there about you personally as well, tracking it, looking at the analytics and seeing that a lot of the time when it's more personal, people do engage with it more. And then obviously you can put your salesy type of post in with the mix as well. And again, just spend 5 minutes on social. If you can't think of content all the time, spend 5 minutes a day, and it's not that much really, just commenting on other people's posts, engaging with other people on social, and not just liking the post, but making it, an effort and putting a couple of comments on there as well. And that's literally all it would take just to start to get your engagement up as well. With regards to free things, there are quite a lot that you can do to increase your brand awareness online, especially, and in the local media actually, other than just your time on social media. So when I say the free, obviously it takes a little bit of your time, but the monetary value is actually free. So make sure you've got or claimed your Google My Business page. This is something completely free. Google your business. It should come up on the right hand side of the screen on Google, and you can claim that. You then get a postcard about 3 days later with a verification code. You put that into Google, you've then got that page. It is free advertising. So you can put posts on there, you can put images on there, links to your website. Obviously you can have Google reviews on there as well, and it'll really help with your SEO on the website, on your website and stuff as well. So definitely try to claim your Google My Business page if you haven't got it already. If you have got it, make sure you're updating it as well. Put your business hours on there, put images on and things like that. So definitely Google My Business. Write news articles. There's some great businesses out there at the moment, like the Muscle Club, We Your Business, there's Be Daily. Send them news articles. The Muscle Club in particular have been doing 100 days in lockdown stories, and they've been really great. You get a lot of traction off it on social media. They're really good at sharing these stories. And also Be Daily, it's a good idea to create a free account. Create a free account, upload a news story. They'll then verify that, then you've got the link, share it across social media, and it looks like you're in the local press. It hasn't cost you anything, but at least you've got that message out there. And also if you are based in the sort of the Weir area, Durham area, contact We Your Business. They have a weekly email. As long as it's not too salesy and you are promoting a news story, they're quite happy to have a look at that for you, put it on their weekly email, put it on the website. And again, once you get that, share it across social. And it's just more content that obviously you've got to share as well. Blogs, really good idea to share them on your website. I've got a couple of clients who do this really well. And again, it's that giving something away for free. If you're concentrating on something in particular that your customers are interested in, so if it might be photography or HR or whatever, do a little blog post about the 10 ways to increase your photography skills on whatever. So write a blog about that. If you can't think of content for blogs, there's a really good website called answerthepublic.com, and you type in, it's just a search tool really, where you actually type in there, so just say it was photography, how do I improve my photography skills? And then it comes up with like a sort of like a bubble cloud of lots of suggestions of what people have searched for with regards to your product, and it gives you loads of good ideas about blogs. And then obviously once you've got your blog, either put it on your website and again share it on social again, and it's all of these things put together with your content, your news articles, blogs, Google My Business, what come together to really help and start promoting your business really well. Next slide. Right, yeah. So charities, obviously I said a little bit at the beginning about how I know Laura and started getting involved with helping out at Grace House with regards to sort of helping with just really, it doesn't have to be money. You know, money is great to donate to charities, but it doesn't, obviously at the current time, a lot of people possibly don't have the money to give, but it doesn't just have to be like that. You know, I've helped Laura by obviously helping out with today. I've put the auction, what Laura's got online at the moment for Grace House, put a little marketing bundle in there. Also, you know, make sure that you like and share Laura's tweets or whoever, you know, whichever charity it is that you're supporting, make sure that you're sharing on social media and whatnot. And obviously you can see there that stat that 70% of people are more likely to spend on brands that support good causes. And these aren't just, you know, Amazon or Barber or whoever it might be. These are small companies as well who, if it looks like, you know, you're really wanting to help out, people are influenced by it. And if they see that you're helping out at local charities or in your local community in any way, it really does make a difference. And if your competitor isn't doing it, it really is an advantage for you. And again, it's great PR. On a purely business front, it's great PR for you. Share it on social media, put it in the local press. And it's also a good way. I know obviously prior to lockdown and prior to COVID, Laura had some great networking events where I've met some really great contacts. And you're obviously networking with other like-minded businesses. So it's a really good opportunity to network in your local area as well. Excuse me. And it's good for team building with regards to your business. So if you can help out with regards to, you know, you want to do a little bit of gardening, or you can actually go and help out somewhere in the charity, bring, you know, 5 or 10 members of staff, however many you can bring. And it's great because a lot of the time, you know, Sue from marketing might never speak to Kevin from accounts. And it's great to be able to get all these people together. And I've seen it happen, I've seen it work. And it's really good for the business to all get together. So you're having a good team building opportunity for your business while helping the charity. And then obviously shout about it from the rooftops that you've done all this, you know. So it really is a mutual beneficial relationship to help with the charity. It really is.
Yeah, I think as well the other thing is maybe thinking, I don't really like this phrase, but think outside the box about what you can offer a charity. For example, Grace House, we're a really small charity. We don't have a marketing team. We don't have, you know, all of the skills that you would have in a big charity. So I mean, Nicola offered to write us a press release, and that was just such a good help to us, because, you know, we wouldn't have been able to get that otherwise, or we would have just kind of cobbled it together. But to make it more professional was brilliant. So, you know, if you have some skills that can be shared, then it's definitely worth a conversation of how we can work with charities.
Thanks, Laura. And then right, getting on to LinkedIn. So I don't know if you can put in the chat, or we'll have a chat about it at the end, how many LinkedIn members there are. Obviously this has went up massively over the last couple of months. So I'll spoil the surprise, but it is 690 million users. They're not all active, it's probably about half of that, but obviously that number is massive. So if you're not on LinkedIn, you really are missing out on a big opportunity. Obviously, like I said previously, I've been on LinkedIn for quite a lot of years, and it does take time to build that network up, but it definitely does work, and I get most of my business from LinkedIn now. So just a few quick sort of tips about optimizing your profile, which some of these look quite obvious, but it's amazing how many people don't do it. So firstly, have a good professional image. The amount of times I still see them with, you know, you're on a night out, or another great one is it's your wedding photograph and you've chopped somebody else's head out of the way and things like that. they really don't look great. And you don't have to spend, you know, a lot of money. It's great if you could get professional headshots done. But, you know, a lot of people haven't got the time or money at the moment. So just, you know, a blank wall or something behind and just take a good image, because it really does make a big difference. It's like turning up in an interview with sort of like ripped jeans and a t-shirt what you've had on for 4 days and things like that. It just doesn't look great, you know. So try and get a professional image. So to optimize your LinkedIn profile, obviously hopefully you can just see there, have a good headline. So include some keywords in there and what you offer. So the very top of mine obviously as an example, I've just got owner at Riverside Marketing, and then I've got a few bullet points of what I do. Because if people search for that in the search box at the top, you will come up. So obviously if you've just got on there owner at Riverside Marketing, or you know, Laura's got fundraiser at Grace House, something like that, it doesn't really say that much. So try and put a few keywords in there about what you actually do. And there's some great examples out there, to be fair, some really good ones. But, you know, try and put a few bullet points in. A little tip is, if you've got the LinkedIn app, you actually get more characters to write your headline on the app than if you do it on desktop. So I think it's about 100 more characters you get. So when you're updating the headline, do it on the app and you'll get a few more characters than you would on the desktop. Again, the About Us section. Now, I've just recently changed mine, actually, because I did have a little bit, I thought, too much personal information on there, just about, you know, what I like doing and this, that and the other. And then people aren't really interested, and I know it's harsh, but, you know, you start to say, oh, well, obviously, yeah, have a little bit about there, you know, obviously for 25 years I've worked in marketing, business development, blah, 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 and then that's about it. But put in there about how you can actually help. And again, it's bringing that benefit to the client, not, well, in 2005, I worked at such and such and I did this project. They're not interested. And it's harsh, but the potential clients are not interested in what you've done in 2005. So put on there bullet points of, you know, do you need help with HR? Do you need help with videos? Do you need help with photography, or whatever it might be? And put that in your About section as well. And then put a call to action in there as well at the bottom. So, you know, put your email address, your website, whatever it might be, put that call to action in their About section as well. So people don't have to search all over to actually ring you, you know, they don't have to click another 3 buttons to actually contact you, because people just won't do it, you know. Personalize your URL, so your name at the top of the address bar, personalize that. So to do that, you just go onto your profile section. On the top right hand side, you might just be able to see it on that screen there. It says edit public profile and URL. Click on that, and then you get the option to actually put whatever you want in there. So obviously your name. A lot of it, when you just get a generic email LinkedIn address, it'll have, so Nicola Halse / and then it'll have loads of different numbers on. So you can take all that off and just have your name, obviously if it's available, or as close to your name as you can. And it just, again, it looks more professional. So if you have it on an email header or something like an email link or something like that, it looks more professional. And just, if someone goes onto your page, it looks like you know what you're doing, if it's just not loads of random numbers on there. So it's just something tiny. It takes a couple of minutes, but it does look better. Yeah, this is a relatively new feature on LinkedIn. On your profile, you can put featured items on there. So you could put links to your blog, links to your website, links to white papers that you might have published or whatever. So a news article, again, you could put on there a link to that, and make sure that you keep updating it, you know, because again, there's nothing worse than looking on someone's profile and they haven't updated anything for about 2 years, and it looks as though they just haven't been bothered really. So make sure that you keep on putting the featured items on there. And again, it's just updating your profile all of the time. And ask contacts for recommendations. It's a really, really good way of showing potential clients and other people who you're networking with that you know what you're doing in your job. So obviously I've got a couple on there at the moment. try and write some for other people, so then in turn they'll hopefully write them for you. Or if you know a couple of good contacts who you've worked with, ask them. And most people will do it. And you know, some people might say, well, will you just write something and then I'll okay it? Make sure that you do it. And it really does make a big difference, because not lots of people do it. So getting those recommendations makes a big difference. So definitely ask for recommendations. And again, this is a relatively new feature, and I think LinkedIn are rolling it out at the moment. Now, we had a bit of a laugh about this a couple of weeks ago, because obviously I haven't got a really unusual name, but my surname, I get Halse, Halsey, Halstead, Halse. So it's Halse. So just obviously as a bit of a quirky thing as well, I put it out there that this is a new feature on LinkedIn. So you just literally click on if you've got it, which I presume lots of people should have it by now. So you just click on the little microphone next to your name. You get 10 seconds to record a message, which is just obviously your name, and it tells people how to pronounce your name. So for me, I'm never that particularly bothered if people pronounce my name wrong. It doesn't really bother me, but I would be bothered if I said somebody else's name wrong. And especially, you know, there's some unusual surnames and first names out there now. So it's quite good to be able to, so if you know somebody else has done it, you just click on that speaker, and then you can hear exactly how to pronounce the name. So actually I got lots of traction on LinkedIn from that post that I put out with regards to just pronouncing someone's name. So it was a really good post for me, got lots of engagement. So yes, try and do that as well.
I think it's really funny, and I was mortified, because I went, oh, I wonder what this is. Listens to how you pronounce your name, and realised I've been pronouncing it wrong for 4 years.
Yeah, it's a good job. It's a good job I knew you and I hadn't took offence.
I was mortified. But like you say, it's a good tool for interaction as well.
There's something else that you've added to, yeah, definitely. And another good little tool, what again, I've started to do quite a lot now, but I didn't previously, is on your profile, if you click on more, and then you can click to save as PDF, and you can look, it prints it out as a sort of CV style. And it's quite good because you can see it looks a little bit different when it's actually printed down like that. And you can say, oh, that doesn't look very good, or I want to change that. But it's also quite good to look at your competitors as well. So if you look at someone's profile and think they've got quite a good sort of profile page, save it as a PDF and then improve on it and put it on yours. So it's a tiny little thing, but it does make things clearer for you when you print it out as a PDF. And like I say, it comes as a sort of CV format. And it's a good way to just think, well, I'll remove that, or I can add a little bit there. So it's just something small, but it does help you when you're writing your sort of about us section in your headline as well. It can help. And then, yes, your LinkedIn social selling score. I think a lot of people know about this now, but obviously it's been around for quite a while, and obviously the link is there, and you just Google LinkedIn social selling and it'll take you to the page, and it will give your profile a score. So normally anything above 70 to 75 is classed as a good score. So it goes on quite a lot of different things with regards to your network, how your posts do. It will even go down to things such as if you've connected with people on LinkedIn, but then have never had any more engagement with them, it will mark you down. So if you connect with somebody on LinkedIn, it's always a good thing to then engage with them, send them a message. Why have you connected with them in the first place? You know, so send them a message. Can you possibly have a one-to-one with them, or, you know, do a little bit of networking via LinkedIn, you know, like their posts or whatever it might be. And that will get your social selling score index higher as well. And it's, I think, I can't remember the exact figure, but if you've got over sort of 75 of a score, it increases massively your potential to win business via LinkedIn, because obviously you're good at engaging, your content's really beneficial. And at the end of the day, everyone who's a LinkedIn user is a LinkedIn customer, and LinkedIn want to give their customers the best content. So obviously if you put in really good content out there, they will put you in front of more of your your connections. So it is quite a good little thing to do, and it also, you can compare with other people in your sector, in your industry, and see how you're faring against other people as well. So that's a good little one to do. And just a couple of little things. I actually use Hootsuite a little bit with regards to scheduling posts, especially if you're on holiday, or if you're going to be busy for a couple of days and you can't do anything. But try not to use it all the time, because especially LinkedIn do mark you down if they know you're not actively on the platform and you're just using a social media tool, scheduling tool. They know that you're not there, so you might not get the engagement and you might not get in front of as many people as you normally would. They definitely have their place though. I mean, I use it myself, but not lots, certainly not for every single post. And then little tip again, when creating content, especially obviously for LinkedIn, if you get that little box and the little words and it says see more on LinkedIn, if somebody clicks on see more, LinkedIn know that your first 1 or 2 lines have been really engaging and people have wanted to click on see more. So make sure that your first 1 or 2 lines gets that hook, so people click on see more, and then again that will increase your engagement. It's been a little bit of research done last week by another LinkedIn sort of trainer and influencer, and he's looked at LinkedIn are now looking at how long people are on your posts. So if you make your post a little bit longer, put a couple of more spaces in there, use emojis, and people will stay on the post longer. And if LinkedIn see that someone's on a post for 30 seconds as opposed to 10 seconds, you will get more engagement again. So try and make your post a little bit longer and just get people to stay on them posts and read them for as long as possible. And again, when you're engaging, I know I said before about the 5 minutes, try and not just share or like, but comment on people's posts. So again, it's a good way of a simple way you can help charities as well. So, if they've put something out there about their online auction, or about, a company that have used them as charity of the year or whatever it might be, and try and, use a minimum of 4 words, because that is the sort of the area where LinkedIn knows that you're becoming engaged. So don't just put great, it won't really do anything for them. So, if it was the auction that Laura's got on at the moment, you would, make a little comment saying, great, I will visit the auction site and have a look, sounds great, or whatever. And then obviously, if someone's posting, commenting on your post, reply to them as well. They've took the time to actually comment on your post. So try and reply to them all if you can. Just, yours doesn't have to be particularly 4 words, but even if it's just a great, thanks, would be great to catch up, or whatever it is. And again, you're just always increasing. It's that reinforcement all the time. But it's a good little tip of just liking and commenting on people's posts is a good way to get your engagement up as well. And then lastly, and again, social media, the clue is in the title, and I know I've said it, but be social, interact, even if it's literally just 5 minutes per day. Comment on other people's posts, like them, and try and engage with as many people as you can, and ultimately just be nice. Nobody wants to buy off a twerp, and they just won't do it. So just be nice on social. If you can put someone in someone else's direction, if you can refer someone, if you can leave a recommendation for somebody, do it. It will literally take 5 minutes, and it does end off coming back to you. I've learned this completely over the last 6 months, after losing my job and this and the other, how powerful networking can be, and knowing a lot of nice people, and it can really help. So yes, just be a nice person on social media, basically, and it will help you. So, and I think that's it. So thank you very much, everyone, for listening and waffling on for half an hour as well. So I don't know if there's any questions or anything.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much, Nicola. That is my my main takeaway from that is nobody wants to buy off a twerp. And I will be using that to promote this event. Yes, so does anybody have any questions for Nicola? You can either pop them in the comments or you can unmute yourself to ask a question if you think that'll be easier. But yes, just we're getting a couple of comments. Nicola just saying thank you and well done. Anna says that was great, thank you. Carly says well done, Nicola. Ewan says well done, thank you. Anira Rivera says very nice presentation, thank you. And James Vatherley, very helpful, Nicola and Laura, excellent. So thank you very much for your comments there. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I am off to check my LinkedIn profile now.
Me too.
I think there's a few things in there that I've neglected for a while. And I kind of want to see what I've actually written.
Yeah, no. Well, actually, Laura, one of the things in the marketing bundle as well, what's on your auction is a LinkedIn sort of profile review as well, isn't it? So that would be quite good for people to bid on.
Yes. So if anyone would like to bid on our auction, if you head to our Facebook page or LinkedIn or Twitter or the website, you can find where our auction is. We've got some lovely lots up for grabs. There is all sorts there. Oh, sorry, yes, I'll stop promoting myself because we've got an interesting question from Kelly. So enough about me. Let me just get that back, Kelly. Any unique content for live streaming for a shopping centre?
Oh,
there you go, Nicola.
Oh, no. Oh God, someone had to ask me a really hard question.
Yeah.
I would think that for a shopping centre, you could get some really good content, I would think. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I could certainly have a think, and then I could message Kelly and have a look and do a little bit of research. But I would think, yeah, there must be some good content out there. So I don't know, obviously, where they're wanting to put that, or I don't know if you want to comment, Kelly, about how you're gonna. Oh yes. Actually, yes, Graham Salt. That's who I should have said straight away, put in his direction. Yeah. Yes, Graham is a really good retail expert who's one of the directors of Durham Business Club. And Graham is very good. Obviously, he's the sort of male Mary Portas. So yeah, Graham is very good.
Yeah.
Actually, while I'm here, I know we may as well promote Network Northeast as well while we're here. It's another great marketing tool, which is completely free, that every Tuesday, myself, Durham Business Club, and funnily enough, Graham Salt, we facilitate a Twitter networking hour every Tuesday from 2 till 3 p.m. And all you need to do is chat, share what you do, but use the hashtag Network Northeast. And everybody has got so much out of it. It's been really great. Laura's been on most, and I think Stephen has, and Carly has. I can't see everyone.
Andrew as well, yeah.
Yeah, it's been really great. And it was started in March just as a bit of a sort of thing, just on while lockdown was going on. And we have thought about sort of stopping it over the last couple of weeks, but then the last week especially is just it, Laura, it was so busy yesterday, wasn't it?
I was typing furiously trying to keep
really good, and we've managed to get quite a few referrals for business as well. I think Andy, actually, I've got one for you as well. And then I've got a meeting on Friday with another company just through this Twitter networking hour on a Tuesday. And again, like I say, it's completely free. Really good way to share your business. What you do, and just give a little bit of support to Northeast businesses as well. So it's a really good hour.
It flies by as well. It doesn't feel like an hour. So if you thought sitting on Twitter for an hour terrifies you.
It's quite intimidating to try and facilitate it, to be fair. I'm pleased I've got Graham to help me with it, because it is quite hard to do when you're trying to speak to everybody and make sure everyone gets the chance to share their business. But no, it's really good, to be fair. So if anyone would like to join us on a Tuesday, everyone's more than welcome. It's really good. Yeah.
Fab. Has anyone else got any questions for Nicola? I just have a little question about Network Northeast and hashtags in general. So sometimes I use hashtag capital N network, capital North, capital E.
Yeah.
Does that make a difference, or does it all have to be lowercase, or like if I mix and match?
Yeah, it doesn't make a difference. I call them camel hump hashtags, and it just means that you can read them a little bit better, because a lot of the time people look at a hashtag and some of them can be quite long, and you think you've got to really concentrate on what the actual hashtag is to read it out. So I always put capital letters at the start of the word, even though obviously all the word is together, just so people can read it a little bit easier. But obviously, if you use hashtags in social media in general, obviously LinkedIn in particular, you can use hashtags. And I would say follow, obviously, hashtags what are relevant to your business. But also, if you always use the same hashtag, which is fair enough, so it might be hashtag photography, hashtag social media, whatever it might be, try and change it a little bit as well. So there's a good website called Right Tag, and you can go on there, you type in a hashtag that you normally use, and it will give you alternatives. So if you are always putting the same hashtag on, that's fair enough if you're putting sort of the three, but sorry, I was just looking at technical name is actually camel case. Yeah, I call it camel hump. So if you're always putting the same hashtag on, you're only getting that audience. So yes, use the same one, but then also chuck a different one in there as well. So this website called Right Tag gives you some different alternatives. So it's quite a good one to have a look at. But no, it doesn't make any difference. But yeah, I always put the capitals in there as well. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just looking at the comment there. Let's get Network Northeast trending. I think we were yesterday, Laura, weren't we?
Oh, yeah. Oh, it was brilliant. Fab. I mean, has anyone else got anything they'd like to say to Nicola, or any questions? I mean, I think, well, I'm sure Nicola will be able to, happy to connect with everybody on LinkedIn, any other form of social media as well. So if you do have any questions, I mean, it would be great if we can all go and connect with each other, increase that network and get building that network that Nicola was talking about. I think it is good to see, like, I know quite a few people in this group, but there's a few that I don't know, so I'll try and connect, and yeah, if anyone has any questions about anything later on, you can just pop them over to us, and we'll be happy to help.
Yeah, no problem. If anyone wants to message me and wants any advice or whatever, it's no problem at all. I don't mind doing that, because that's my chicken as opposed to the cow. But yeah, it's no problem at all. If anyone wants any advice or whatever, that's no problem. Quite happy.
Lovely. Yes, and thank you so much to everybody that came along today. So just to kind of finish off, I will email out all of the slides to everybody who was here today, so you can kind of just check on that, and on that as well you can actually click on the social selling index, so you can check that straight away. And sorry, I just got distracted by Steve Green saying he's got no toilet rolls. Very, very random. Very essential there. So yes, so I will send out a list of attendees. I will send out the slides from people, but also if you you can save the chat. So if you just go onto your chat box and click on the three little dots, you can click save chat on there, so anyone who has popped in their contact details can you can see those, and we can connect that way as well. Oh, Anna Warner, does Grace House have a garden that needs tending? We have young people we could send over. Yes, so we have a huge garden, and we always need people to help out. So Anna, if you don't mind dropping me an email, we can get something sorted on that. That would be amazing. Thank you very much. I know Andy, who's on this chat as well, he's going to come over and do some work in the garden. So yes, that would be awesome. Thank you so much. Anything else from anybody else? No? Fab. Well, thank you very much, everyone. I'll let you get off and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Thanks everyone. Bye.